Greetings, welcome to the first live version of the GL Studios live show. Last time we cheated, it was recorded just to make everyone feel a little bit happier. We've got Ben in the wings who's listening, so if someone comes running and tells me that we're doing something wrong and I change it, that's why he's on. But we're stitching him up back, he's going to come on. Because this show is all about being a hot swap. We're going to have various guests through the course of this, and we're going to catch up with everyone. I'm going to prove that now by going for the group shot.
Hello.
We're now on this camera right here. We wanted to get the Christmas tree, but more importantly this time, of course, we've got Lewis and we've got Katie. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
And breathe. Got to say, these guys, bless them, very, very nervous. There's no need to be. It's just a conversation with me. Anybody who's watching, if you've got questions, comments, anything like that, put them in, because we're able to see those comments come in and we'll be able to do it. But to start with, let's make sure we understand what, first of all, do you guys do? Katie, what's your role at GEL?
So my role now is I'm client director. So basically looking after all the clients, making sure they're happy, their work gets done, making sure the team are happy. So just
mopping up after this lot.
Extending the mummy role, yeah.
It is. I get that completely, and obviously I'm both as a supplier and a customer with you guys. I get that completely. We're demanding lots of customers. I know it. Lewis, what's your role, my friend?
So I'm the marketing manager. So I oversee a team, and we look after clients' PPC, their SEO, and their social media accounts.
That's a lot, isn't
it? A lot of things to kind of juggle. But yeah.
It really is. And I know, because we work on several different avenues on that one, so I get that. How long have you been here, Katie?
Almost 7 years now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 7 years it'll be, because my little girl will be 8. So it was when she was 1 I joined, yeah.
Because I remember that, and it seems like yesterday, really. That's incredible. Lewis?
I've been here 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And kind of before that, GEL didn't offer marketing. And then when I came in, that was when we kind of was at a point where we wanted to kind of expand out into marketing. So I came in and kind of set up the products for marketing, and we've kind of grown from there.
Yeah.
And it has, because I've been with you on some of that journey as a customer, where it's been appropriate to sort of go, oh, what can we do? What else can we do? I need help with this. And instead of you GEL referring, it was like, we can do that with you.
Yeah.
And that's, I get the impression that's still evolving to some extent.
Oh yeah, like the products that we offer at the moment, obviously we have lots of clients on those, but there are more that we're thinking about in the new year, different services that complement the services we provide at the moment. So there's more plans for that in the future.
It is. And you've even sort of like grown your role and having a team, because I think it was all you.
Originally it was just me. And now we're at a team of 3, including myself. So it's been a real exciting journey over the last 2.5 years. But we're in a really good place and ready to get going in next year as well.
2024, exactly. 2024. Right. And Katie, from your side, I guess your role, you don't necessarily have someone directly under you. You have all of them. You've got to really sort of be looking after everything and the scapegoat and things like that. But you get to do it with just a smile and blame everyone else.
No, it is. It can be challenging, but I've got like an amazing team behind me. And obviously new roles in the new year, project manager coming, which will alleviate so much, which will be lovely. And it'll be lovely to work with someone alongside them. And
that does make sense, that whole project management idea, doesn't it? Where everything is a project that's going on. So the idea that there's someone that's going to look after that as a project a whole makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because in the account manager role, which is like the client director role, obviously you're there for the client. More of a project manager is there for your internal team. So for me, trying to balance that at the moment, so making sure the team are doing what they need to be doing, but is the client happy? It can be, sort of, you can fight against each other. So I think it'd be really, really a good step, because we'll work together.
And what I really like, where Graham and Co have sort of grown the team for the offering, is that there is an overlap in the roles that can make people make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, we don't need that because they're taking care of it. But from your experience, it's like, no, we need someone to focus on that yes, overlaps. Like you're looking after the clients, you're looking after the whole marketing offering, which means that you're crossing into that. Project management's going to cross into both of you.
Yeah.
But it needs that focus, doesn't it?
Definitely does. Like with marketing, we have so many different retainers, different clients needing different things. We definitely need that person in now to kind of alleviate them from us as a marketing team managing those projects, having that project manager to kind of oversee and make sure everything is done.
Yeah,
we definitely need that. So we're looking forward to that.
It's exciting. I know when it was announced that was the next step, I was like, that makes so much sense. Whereas historically, it was considering the fact that you were all kind of project managing really in your own ways, but it crosses over. And I know me from a client perspective is that I've worked with several of you, and to have like a figure point that goes, right, they're doing this and we all come together, it makes sense. 7.5 years, did you say, or just
almost 7? Yeah, almost seven.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You must have, for you, it must be incredible to see so much change over those years.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like when I joined a very small team in our small office.
Were you there when they were at Gemini?
Yeah.
Right,
so yeah, not in the first office.
In
the second one, and then I was there when we knocked the wall down. And made it bigger.
Disowned me. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been amazing. Like for me, like I came in as admin assistant 2.5 days a week. It didn't job shared. And yeah, just sort of gradually I've taken on little bits and got to know the business more and more and how it works. And I think that's enabled me to get where I've got now because I have a good understanding of it. But yeah, seeing the team grow, the office move, it is. Sometimes you just, it's quite surreal sometimes to think like and the goals we've always had and how we then achieve them. So then we have the next one, you think, oh, that's a really big goal. Or how are we going to do that? And then we get another client. It's just amazing, really. It's been a crazy journey.
Agreed. I agree. Yes, totally. Crazy journey sums it up, really. And you talk about crazy, is that I love the fact that you guys work hard, play hard as well. I mean, I was just suddenly seeing on socials your footage of your Christmas
do. Yeah, we had a really good time last week, didn't we? Yeah.
The lights in London. I mean, what's that? The roof at John Lewis. I didn't even know they did that thing.
Yeah. Gemma managed.
I didn't do that. Yeah, I didn't know about that. That was amazing.
On the rooftop, John Lewis, they've kind of completely transformed it. They've got all these those domes where you can kind of sit in as well. That's pods. See those, and we had this reserve space, and we just had a nice time, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the bus store, the open top bus.
Yes,
they're the client of yours.
They are one of our clients.
Yeah, I thought
so. We've been working with them for about 6 months, just over 6 now, and they've had a massive kind of increase in the number of people that have been buying their Christmas lights tickets over the year. So. We reached out and we said, we'd like to experience it too. And it
was so good to experience actually what they do. Yeah, it was a really, really good day.
I'm just looking, we've got a first comment come in. I can't quite read it. It's a bit too far away. Here we go. It's the boss man. What has he put? He's put about the fact that the green in the background. Oh, the green dragon in the background. Oh, there you go. Look at that. The green dragon in the background. Little fella looking below us as well. I've got to hide that because look at this little fella down here. I love it. Great what's gone on here. But in terms of, sorry, I digress.
No, it's all right.
It's a Christmas show. I'm allowed to do that.
So when we were decorating for Christmas, kind of, we had our own individual budgets to kind of go out and buy Christmas decorations. So I believe that one was from Alicia, that dinosaur.
Brilliant. That will explain.
Just about see the little snowman that just by your elbow.
Yeah, he's just down there.
We've got this 6-foot elf.
Don't call Graham that.
Lots of different decorations.
And that 6-foot elf, when I walked in this morning, it's coming walking towards us now. It's going to be on camera any second now. Come over this way. Is that I actually said morning as I opened the door. It wasn't a person. There we go. Look at this. Fantastic.
And it's literally just as you open the door, so it's a bit of a jump scare. But...
It was, honestly, this morning I went to open the door and went, oh, morning. Oh, no, it's not.
He's going to come out every year now.
Just brilliant. But, I love that work hard, play hard, and I think it needs to be done. I know that we've sort of bumped into each other, like some networking events, which I know you're doing more, but I love that. For me, is that you get to meet new people. You've kind of got that fun vibe in here as well, and that comes through in the creativity and everything as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's important to do it. We do we have like monthly self-dev days to allow people to have that time to work on themselves really and what they want to, achieve, because it's really important to have that balance with the team.
100%.
So,
and we were talking about the open top bus thing through London with the lights and everything. It was so cool that you got to do, and then being a client. I think I saw a video recently that's probably like your favourite project of the year as well.
I've got lots of favourites.
I can imagine.
But yeah, that was one that really kind of stands out for me. The client was skeptical of SEO in general when we first started.
It is a dark art.
Yeah.
There are lots of people that do it and that can say that they can offer it.
Yeah.
But doing it the right way is what we've always been, what we've offered. And that's just one example of when you do it right and you've got a client that works really well and kind of trusts you, then we get good results from it.
Well, and I was about to say, in terms of those results, is that you guys are very much into the stats, that you're able to bring everything up and go, look, here is an idea of how this is going so far, with the patience that Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
You've got to stick with it, but you will be looking and switching, do whatever might need to change, those kind of things. And that's something that stood out for me for you guys.
Yeah. When we kind of work on retaining the clients, we have a kind of a 12-month plan with them. Yeah. Everything mapped out, but things change, business needs change, and we can we've got that time with them. So if we decide as the client and the team working on it that we need to switch things around, then that's fine. We can do that. Ultimately, we want to deliver value and results for the client.
Absolutely.
So getting them the results is the most important thing, isn't it?
And just having the open comms with them all the time, like that's all we can ever be, is honest with them. If something's not working, then that's when we have to, we need to change it up a little bit.
Well, especially when you consider the SME environment, is that, and again, I'm speaking from experience, is that it's the owner's money. And we're not looking to spend money for the sake of spending money most of the time. We wish we could be in that situation. So everything is like, right, I need to have confidence. I need to have enough understanding to know what's going on and why and those kind of things. And that's where you guys have not just got to do the work, but you've got to embrace us as customers as well, which again comes into you also looking after them.
And I think next year will be even more of that, in terms of when we have a new client or even our existing clients, is not just doing the work, but really like digging into their business, being part of their team and trying to understand what their goals are for the next 12 months, so that we can really, as a team, not just marketing, but there'll be other areas we can chip in at to make that difference.
Yeah.
So next year will be a big year of that.
And that's what I like. I know that we've got a key thing is that we were going to be looking back on 2023, and I will come to you in a minute just to get a couple of standout moments, but naturally in the flow of the conversation, you're already talking about excitement for 2024. That says millions to me. That speaks volumes.
No, we are really excited. It's going to be a big year.
2024 is already looking very busy for us.
There is that.
But we've got lots of really good projects coming up. We're looking forward to it, and we've got some really great clients to really value our time. So that's what we want, right?
And I know I can't pick you on the details just yet. Let's not do that. Right. 2023, give us something that really stands out for 2023, or a couple of things.
There's been so much. There's been so many amazing projects that we've done. Obviously, for me, I love doing our pro bono projects where we help people that really need our help. And that's been amazing to see the team working on that, and obviously how thankful they are when you deliver those projects. It's such a good feeling. But I think for me as well, like as a team, we've gone through quite a lot of process and workshops together to understand each other more and how we work together, and maybe that we're not all the same. Certain things trigger other people compared, and I think, and we've just become so much more tighter because of that. It's been amazing, really. The way in which we handle situations, difficult conversations, we can do it now with a different lens, and it's just been amazing. So,
and I know, for example, episode 1, Graham was making a point about how you guys have really stood yourselves up by being prepared to have those and quote unquote difficult conversations, i.e. not just yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. It's kind of like, okay, but no, we think that we need to be looking at this, and having those difficult conversations is what then brings the finished product out differently to what you might get elsewhere.
100%. Yeah.
Stand out for 23. I know we've said about the London.
I think in terms of a pro bono project, so I would say Heat the Hub was a really good one for us. Which, they're based in the Swindon Town Centre, and they wanted to kind of keep the lights on in the building and provide food to people that might need it. We ran a crowdsourcing campaign for them where they wanted to raise 5,000 in a month, and it was a kind of an all or nothing. And through our kind of campaign that we ran, they raised over 8,000, which was a really great kind of outcome for them, and it kind of kept the building open during the winter. And I think also kind of working with Odin Events, which is one of our clients in the event space. The PPC work that we launched their new website this year, new branding, everything like that. But the PPC work on that, they've got kind of a,
just to make sure everyone understands, that's pay-per-click
Google ads. So ads at the top of Google. They've had like a 12 times return on their ads, so on their ad spend. So that was a really standout moment for me as well.
That's impressive. I'd love that, definitely. That was really impressive. Well, listen guys, I think the best thing, and we'll get another couple of people that will be getting ready to come on next. seamless there, see. Is just wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Before you do that, I will say it to you guys. Thank you for everything. That I know that I personally with you guys, have a fantastic Christmas.
You too.
And
have a nice break as well. Hopefully you're going to get a break.
I hope so. So. But if we just, I'll just change it because it looks like Ben's coming on next. Let me just flick it to the camera. Just wish everybody a happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Hope everyone have a lovely time.
Fabulous. Well, thank you to these two. Don't go anywhere because we're just going to hot swap them. So thank you to Lewis. Just unclip your mics. We got Ben coming up next. Who else? Just Ben? G-Man's coming in as well. Goodness me, I've got to behave now. I don't even know how to do that, let's be honest. But thank you guys, much appreciated. So come on in, get the mics on, pick a seat, whichever seat. I'm going to even grab myself a quick drink. Told you it wasn't bad, Lewis.
Quick drink. It's like a reservoir cup.
If you want to, just click on the icon, like the person icon.
If you can go and show them if you want quickly, and then come back if that's easier.
There we go. Interlude.
So never work with kids, children, and crystals is because you never know what's going to happen. That's the reality of it. Let me now quickly bring in, because I'm going to go to this one, because now you get your full. So you're a lot closer.
Right.
Graham, welcome back, mate. I mean, I'm sure you were listening into that, and that must.
I was,
really
the camera angle for the dinosaur was nice. I thought, testing everything. Cool.
Well, welcome. Here we go, and we're catching it live. Is that sneaking in front of Al, Ben as well? Yeah. So, easy question. This one. We know you're the boss man. You set Gel up.
Yep.
That's
my sins.
That sums up your title here, I think, doesn't it? Ben. Tell us about yourself, my friend.
Well, I started in the summer. I'm a digital marketing assistant. So I just help out, do all the general marketing, whether that's SEO, PPC, social media, just all of it, really.
You and I have been working together a lot recently, haven't we? Especially on these kind of things. And, I have to commend the work of this guy. It's really impressive. But I loved it is that I was in recently when you were having conversations with Lewis, and it's like you're still openly self-critical and developing yourself, which I thought was a really good trait to witness, is that you've not come in and settled. You're looking. We were just hearing from Lewis and Katie about how they love that the team gels together. There's the name there, gel. And constantly improving, and you seem to have fitted nicely into that one.
Yeah, which I think was the whole, my entire point of my role is to just develop myself and learn from everyone, and then see where I want to go based on what I learn.
Actually, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I guess at the moment, am I right in saying is that you were saying all the roles that you do, but at the moment you've got a safety net of the team around you as you're being allowed to run solo more and more now?
Yeah, and sort of take more lead on different projects
Yeah.
and have my own clients.
Do you see the fear in his eyes when he said that?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's nice to have that mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I know you're going to be nervous what you're going to say. I mean, how do you feel about, it's been a short time. I wouldn't be surprised if there's still been quite a few changes in those 6 months as well, but to be part of the team here at Gel.
It's been really good. It was a bit of a turbulent start, I guess, with
Yeah.
2 members of the marketing team leaving. So it was
Of
just
course,
me
yeah.
and Lewis for a while until we hired Beth in September.
Yeah.
So it just been like to learn quick and sort
It's the
of
best
find my feet
way.
quickly.
In at the deep end,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how you learn to swim. My dad
Yeah.
threw me in the swimming pool.
Yeah, you got to run before you can walk.
Yeah.
Exactly. You've got to survive. That's the
Yeah.
most important thing. Graham.
Yep.
I know we've had episode 1. We had some great chat. If you haven't
Yeah.
caught episode 1, everybody, do go and watch episode 1 with Graham and Carly. It's such a great insight into the start and the journey of Gel Studios, and I really, really enjoyed even being listening to it as
that's
well.
why we thought this would be a great time to do even more reflection on this specific year. 'Cause it's nice
Exactly.
just to walk down memory lane, but that was 10 years. This is just a year. So yeah.
Which is still so much to cover. I mean, I know you were overhearing some of the comments that were being made about the things, the standouts for the year.
Yeah.
Speak to me. What's things really stand out for you?
There are so many. I think it would be unjust to not mention Ben being one of those standouts, because when Ben joined, 2 people moving on to other sort of opportunities was hard. Growing the business, it's one of the harsh realizations is that this isn't the right environment for everyone. And as much as I want to build it as an environment where everybody can come, stay, develop in their careers, create opportunities and that, I took that really hard. And for then somebody like Ben to come in, and you said you're interviewing for a couple of other places, but one of the key things, I don't want to speak on behalf of you, but one of the things was the opportunity is here for you to progress. Yeah. And we don't have like formal managers in here, we have mentors, and Ben made the fantastic decision to pick me.
Yeah.
It's quite odd when you have first conversations with employees and it's like, how long are you in this for? Is this just a temporary thing? Is this a stepping stone? Is this long term? What is it? And you've got to be brave when you ask that question, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to sort of undermine somebody's sort of vision and confidence in the company by asking that question. But equally, this can be a mechanism to help people develop and get to where they want to go. So even if they leave the business and go into other roles, there's an element of comfort which I can take personally in terms of doing that. What makes this all relevant? Ben has worked and learned at a faster pace than anybody that I've ever witnessed in terms of marketing. The whole of standout thing for a piece of work which you've done for us actually is this month. So being proactively told, not advised, told. It's a confidence piece. This is what we're doing for the month of December. We've got something going out every single day. This is the plan. I've organized the videos to be done, the content to be done. I've spoken to design. That's above and beyond. And it's a joy for me as the founder of this place to actually open up my thing, 7:30, 8 o'clock every day and see something. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And I've never had that feeling before. It is a vital visual part of our business. And to have that kind of trust is really, really cool. And I thank you for that.
I'm tearing up now.
Well, there you go. But no, it's been nice like working with you. I'll share the golf thing.
It's the driving range.
Yeah, I went to the driving range. I've never known anybody make their hands bleed from going to a driving range.
Oh, he's really gripping and ripping.
He must have been, you got to relax, right? You got to relax.
Oh my word.
So that's been, working with Ben has been really nice, and seeing everything you're achieving and doing from a distance. It's been fantastic to see. So well done for that. I think the other big thing for me was what we mentioned in episode 1 was putting the whole team through the PQ framework mindfulness training. And we're kind of coached through that by Duncan Battisell at Ultrix Consultants. And he's been a sort of like a mentor for me throughout this year as well. And going through this, it feels now like we're a proper business.
I
don't know whether it was the office doing that, it's the number of employees we've got, the clients that we're working on. You know, this imposter syndrome of, you know, you're running this place, you know, things that, you and I have talked about before.
Yeah.
It just feels real now. And one of the key things is that the team can communicate with one another in an open, honest and respectful way. What I don't want is anybody to go home from work at night and it's like, oh, I've got this feeling, and that feeling turns into your stomach turning. And then when you want to have a conversation with somebody, it turns into something more that needs to be. And this is what the PQ framework, you know, is allowed us to do. You know that everybody comes here every day to do a great job and put their best foot forward. There is no ill, there is no intent. So let's just have a conversation about it. And the team have now got, when was it you finished? A couple of weeks ago, was it?
Yeah, I think a
couple of weeks ago. It's like a 6-week program. But it's just been fantastic to see that, you know, the words worked into our daily language, but also then the benefit is professionally. You know, a client is trying to struggle to articulate. We can coach, we can mentor, we can lead through those things. Puts us in that much more sort of, you know, consultative space, which is where we want to be. And yeah, it's just been lovely observing that behavior around the office. You know, we've got, you know, people like yourself, Ben, probably never done any mindfulness training before, you know, all done academic work. You know, what's this? Well, I hope that that's the gift to you early in your career is, okay, this is how we can approach tough situations, you know. And then for other people that have, you know, maybe got families who struggle to deal with things, they can now take this into their personal life.
Yeah.
So I said to everybody, this is as much going to help you as an individual. You know, we're just going to benefit as a business by proxy. So that's something that I'm really proud of. And I think for a company of our size to put that much investment into training, self-development, again, I'm really proud of all that stuff.
Well, was it Richard Branson says, train them well enough so they can leave, treat them well enough so they don't want to.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
it just, it's always stuck with me from decades ago that I'll have seen that quote from Branson, and it just makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, on your side of things, I understand if you say no comment on this, but what can you share with us from that interview point when you had the options and that made you choose to come here? Don't save money.
Right. So when I got offered this position, I was offered another one on the same day within a couple of hours of them.
Wow.
And so I spent 8 months applying for jobs, not getting anywhere. And now
Like
I was in this position where I had to pick between two.
Yeah.
And so that it took me like a day or so just going back and forth between weighing up the different options.
Which has got to be a good sign that it wasn't just like,
It's got to be a good fit. Yeah. It's got to be a right fit. Yeah.
So where did the thought process go? What was the standout that made you come here?
It was the look and feel of here and the culture that you could get from it just from looking at our social media and stuff. Because the other places are much more corporate, it would have been a bigger company. Whereas I knew this smaller place would be a much nicer first-time job where I could grow a lot easier.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more personal than this like larger company.
Yeah. And I think that varies, doesn't it? Some people want that. Some people want, you know, to do the standout. Some people are terrified by that idea because you can't hide.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the key thing. Okay, in terms of 2023, your standout. I know it's only 6 months for you, but what in those 6 months has really stood out for you? I love that the eyes. That means there's a lot there by the looks of that.
Well, I think 2023 has just been learning about everything, trying those different things. I think the main thing is just being able to take Gels marketing. Like I can be a lot more creative and have a lot more freedom with it because we've got all this extra time and we've got time to just pick up a camera and do stuff. Whereas with clients, you've got your set amount of time and you've got to arrange to go to them, and they don't necessarily want to do some of the as creative like videos and stuff. And especially like the calendar we've done this year for our social medias. It's been hard, but it's definitely been quite fun. And then making sure each post goes out every day, especially when I was hungover. On a weekend,
So funny thing I find is whenever Ben is in any of like our videos or anything, we normally hear by proxy about how he's got rinsed by his group of mates.
Yeah.
So that's just worth it in itself, right?
Absolutely.
You know? But good sport.
100%, which is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So we've had the 2023 standouts. I'll start with you this time, Ben. 2024, what you're looking forward to? What really is something that stands out?
Well, recently I've started to work more on PPC, and so in the new year I'm going to be taking over a lot more of that, and just to see how that goes, because that is, you can sort of see results a lot easier with that, whereas social media is a much more gradual, slow process.
Isn't it just?
Paid for advertising can be a lot more instantaneous, and you can get results a bit quicker. So it'll be interesting to see how well that goes and how well I do at it.
So there you go. He's your man to speak to on that. Graham, what are you looking forward to most? I mean, I think one that was mentioned earlier is that you instigated, I believe, is the project manager role. But outside of that, what else are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, the PM role for us is going to be, it's going to change a lot of stuff. And it's the first kind of real recruitment at a position of expertise in terms of remuneration. So we know we're going to get a lot of skills, a lot of new perspectives, and we're small enough to be dynamic. You know, nothing is fixed in stone. We can change process, we can change flow. So that's exciting. I think 2024, it's all about the people, internally and externally. I take the greatest joy in seeing the people turn up here every single day, enjoy what they do. Yes, there's hard times, but there is equally, good times. And when people leave here, like, God, I'm knackered, but I've made a difference.
Absolutely.
And the pro bono stuff, which we've just done, seeing the hundreds of votes that we had, I really look forward to working closely with all 4 of them. And, it's not just about doing a piece of work and off you go. It's a case of building, long lasting, mutually beneficial relationships, and when we work with organizations like charities, non-for-profits, it all comes from a very, very honest place, here, and those are the sort of causes that we want to put our best foot forward in. So 2024, we're going to get bigger, but what we're going to do in terms of helping others, that's going to get even bigger. And that's what excites me. It really excites me.
Yeah, it kind of never stops evolving. I was a bit worried that when you got the number that you got and the premises that you now have, that they often say that sort of satisfied a lot of your goals from way back to when we first became both business colleagues and friends, is that I was there going, that ticked a lot of your boxes now. And I was a bit concerned where it was going to go, but you've kind of evolved your goals, your targets, and I'm really impressed to see that. It's exciting.
Thank you. I mean, as I said, I do some work with Duncan, and there's a book which he told me about. And at very top level, we've been brought up in a society. We've got 3 phases of your life. You're educated, you work, you retire. Well, the modern day is that you've kind of got more like 5 or 6 chapters of your life. You've still got, obviously, retire, you've still got the education, but you've got these chapters of your life. And anybody that knows my story, I've had one of my chapters already, and that was where I made mistakes when I was younger in life. I'm now firmly in my 2nd phase, and that phase is where I can learn from my past, and I can use that as a platform to do more good, and that's what the outcome of GEL is. Realizing a lot of my goals leaves a couple of goals left. And one of the things which I've learned, certainly by doing the PQ framework and from working with a group of, really talented individuals that I'd do anything for any of them, is what motivates me is making teams perform, not just in terms of the numbers, in terms of, culture, the culture piece, and that has obviously an effect. So my next chapter in my life, whenever that will be, I know it's going to be maybe not the agency space, but it will certainly be, working with teams that want to transform for good. And 24, I don't mind going public with the first time going public. We're putting in place an EO scheme, an employee ownership scheme. And that's because, the language here, there are no I's, there are no me's, it's we's and it's us's. And you mentioned that earlier with regards to the calendar work that you did. And it's lovely, this is what I'm on about, it's lovely for the culture to see those words just come through very, very naturally. There would be no GEL if it wasn't for everybody that's working here. Yeah. And this is why, me setting out goals about when I'll exit is really important, because that's linked to an employee ownership scheme. And if the founder doesn't exit from an employee ownership scheme, nobody stands to benefit. So this is where it's taken a while to formulate this this approach. And that's it. I'm going to look at setting a date and working towards that date. And that will be another really strong pillar for people to retain talent, to encourage new talent to come to us for all the right reasons.
We're talking a way off before the exit bit comes.
I'll be mid-40s, I reckon. Yeah. There's so much good left for us to do.
Exactly.
So much. And this is what's fantastic about our journey of growth.
Agreed. And you've got to be sat there quite excited about all these other bits and pieces that are going on. The journey might just be this early, but there's so much yet to be written and told. And it's at your control where you want that to be to some extent by the sound of it. So really
Yeah.
exciting. I'm going to pop my CV in here actually.
Doors always open to
Yeah,
collaborate.
absolutely.
That's what it's all about. You know?
It is agreed.
Yeah.
And I loved the presentation you did recently at a networking event.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Competition or collaboration, you decide.
and
Yep.
I mean, even I was away at a networking with that group at a Christmas luncheon. Was it last week?
It was last Thursday. I couldn't make it because
Yeah.
I'll do the following day.
That's
I
right.
thought that would
Yeah.
be a bit too
A bit much.
delicate.
Yeah. But they were still talking about it, and I loved
Really?
it because
Oh, that means a
quite
lot.
often is that it's, and I would fall into the same trap probably as well, is that you're in trying to sort of promote what you do and
Yeah.
yes, be helpful with advice, but it's always promoting. Whereas it was such a universally useful subject about
Totally.
collaborating with more people. Don't just get defensive because you think they're
Yeah.
competition. It is collaborate. So that was a good one, and it was great to see you on that one. We've got to get you presenting at some point as well. Get all these things
We'll
going.
do that. we are a people that are not meant to be on our own. You go all the way back. Why we survived is we were pack animals. We stayed together in the tough times. When it was cold in a cave, we huddled up, we stayed close, and we stayed together.
Yeah.
You don't need companies, you don't need organizations, you don't need titles, you don't need any of those things. Quite simply, you put a group of people in a room and you're all working towards a common goal, either success in terms of a project or success in terms of, benefiting others. Great things will happen. And that's what I'd like to think this environment can be the place to start. And we got one of that little ball up there yesterday from Sarah and Nick. That all started from a conversation, and to receive that is just, it's proof that this vision is
Probably
coming.
you won't be able to see it on the camera, so it says
The cultivators were born here. Cultivators were born here 2023.
so. What does that mean?
Well, I don't want to steal their thunder or anything, but two very skilled women in terms of training and HR application have identified there's a link towards success and culture in the workplace. And they're putting together the cultivators, which is to get people that are wanting to start their journey in terms of the importance of culture, employee satisfaction, as an offering through either face-to-face learning, coaching schemes and other such things like that. So when I found out about it, I knew I had to get involved with it.
Yeah.
And very proud that we're going to be working with them in terms of their brand, their presence, and their offering moving forwards.
And is that a literal comment, as in we're born here?
Down at the end of that room, done.
Really?
Yeah. So I invited them to come into our place to collaborate, to get some ideas down. We gave them the framework from one of our workshops and said, go and do this. And they were both busy beavering down in the bottom corner down there. And that's where they came up with the name. And they've kind of just come in, once every couple of weeks and done some bits and bobs. And in the new year, that's when we're doing our formal branding, messaging workshops. And it's just lovely. Yeah.
That I suspected it was along those lines. I want to make sure it was understood, so that's nice. Yeah. Listen, guys, I know that we could carry on chatting forever, but I need to make sure we get everybody.
Yeah, I've got to get off. I'm on a train to Bath to hang out with my friend James, if he's watching. I'll see him at 12:22, buddy.
Listen, if you quickly say to Cameron your Christmas wishes to everybody.
Merry Christmas. Have a good New Year.
Merry Christmas. Thank you to everybody that's followed us. Every like, every share, every client that's come through our door, it means the world to us. Thank you so much. I have a great time with friends and family, and make sure that emails stay off. Really important.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, I know. That's not likely to happen. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, true.
Guys, Merry Christmas to you both from us.
Cheers, Chris.
That's it. Clip those down. We got the next two coming in. Thank you to those. As they jump, a typical Graham just goes straight in front of the camera. Look, he don't care. It's his building. He's building, so he can do what he wants. So come on in. We've now got the real boss, Carly. And Alicia as well. Let's just let them, so clip that on somewhere. Wherever works, you go on the top of it or somewhere around there.
There we go.
See, seamless. I told you it would be seamless. Right, let's now go back into the group one. I know that Ben will be back at the helm, and Lewis was taking over as well.
Yeah, he's got his headphones on back there.
Is it? Yeah,
yeah,
so he's listening to us.
Yeah.
They've switched. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I know you've already been.
I have been privy to the session with you. Yeah, nice to be back. All the cameras up again.
And we kept you separate this time.
Yes, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you can speak now.
I know, yeah. From the design side, last time I was sat here with Graham talking about how gel started and involvement. But it's nice
I
to be
love that story though. It's such a good one. Really enjoyed that one.
It is a good story.
I'm worried that we're going to struggle to pick you up because you're rubbing in that you've got hair and everything now. I don't, so yeah. But so first of all, Carly, because yours again is an easy question to answer. Your role and title here?
Creative director.
Creative
I
director.
oversee all
See, I
the
told you, the real
design and the
boss.
pretty things. Yeah, I'm Alicia's boss. Only Alicia.
And Graham's, come on.
Maybe.
And Alicia,
Maybe.
your title and role?
Designer of all things I dip my hands into, whether it be websites, branding, logo, whatever, just anything
I
creative.
think Alicia's title was my favourite out of everyone because it's so simple. Designer, like it literally she does design everything, and it's no kind of overcomplicating it. Like she can put her hand to anything, and yeah, I've always loved your title.
Watch out, she's after
Yeah,
it.
I'm after it. Yeah, I'm coming for it.
Come back and
Yeah.
way more design.
Yeah.
And I can certainly speak from example on your work because I know when I launched Visual PR, this is a visual PR production, is that I kind of went, right, I need a logo, need this, that, and the other. And the first thing we did, and I don't envy this job with anybody, but you sat down and I just got to wax lyrical about my idea, what I wanted, what I was feeling. And you went away from that and you were able to create a handful of different logo options, even playing around with the colors and what they mean and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was just in awe that you could take some rambling from this biased business owner and create something out of it. I mean, that can't be easy though.
It's not, it's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge. Like that's what I love about it. And I think having that meeting, that one-to-one right at the beginning, and sort of just whether it's ramblings, whether it's ideas, whether it's stuff that you don't want, it really doesn't matter. And like all of that plays a part to what I then take away and go and explore. Like it's.
But we touched on something in episode 1, saying that the challenge you've got is that you can't zone out or stop listening for 1 second in those ramblings, because that could be a critical piece of information.
And I was saying that we need to know when to kind of let someone ramble, because you can tell they're onto something, but equally you need to be able to jump in and kind of pause, rein it in, narrow it down, or if we feel that actually there's a route that we can go. And that obviously comes with
moments.
Yeah, it is about listening and picking those moments. And that's, you know, there's so many approaches that we have, questions that we can ask, depending on the situation, to kind of get what we need, but also allow someone like yourself in that position to kind of express what you feel is relevant. And then it's up to us to kind of decide which is the most relevant for that particular project.
Do you ever get, you know, they talk about writers getting writer's block. Do you ever get designers block?
Oh yeah.
Judging from that giggle as well, that was a
definite blank page. I think if I don't come out of a meeting, my first initial meeting without a page of already sketched ideas, thoughts, just what I've taken from that meeting, I come out and I'm like, so let's get down to it. So it's very rare that doesn't happen. Like I typically come out with pages sometimes.
And we work quite differently in that way. So I can't remember the last time I was in a meeting with Alicia where she wasn't doodling as she was asking questions. Like the ideas are coming to her, she's doodling, like, and you can see kind of the client looking over, and Alicia's like, yeah, I'm already thinking of it. And it's brilliant to see, because when Alicia puts pen to paper, I think that's where your true passion lies. Yes, you know, we do digital design and websites, but Alicia's ability to illustrate and put pen to paper is like nothing I've seen. And on the flip side of that, for me, I would rather brain dump everything into notes, whatever, and I almost prefer not to think about it until I'm sat in the right environment at my desk and I've got the ability to. Whereas Alicia, an idea will come to Alicia at any point and she'll be there doodling it.
I've got to jot it down, otherwise I'll forget it.
And it's just, and that's, I think, you know, we balance each other out that way as well.
And I guess it's quite funny, isn't it? Because you remember all the people at school that would be doing that doodling, and you go, "You're not listening." The teacher would get cross. And it's just like, "No, you've proven. No, it's the right way to go."
For Alicia, definitely it is. But
quite a few school books are doodled over.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
And it's just different ways of working, I think, isn't it?
Did you ever get, and I don't really know the answer to this because I've only rocked up as me and my ideas, but do you ever get someone that comes in and goes, I've not got a clue?
Yep.
All the time.
Really?
All the time. And it
is hard, isn't it? Because
Very.
we're there kind of going, I'm not creative enough to
Yeah.
bring something out on this. And the other challenge that you must have is when people know a little bit more and we think we know more than we do.
Yeah.
And therefore we don't realize what can be created. You go, no, listen, yes, I can do that, but we can actually even do this.
Yeah. And that's again about picking moments, about when it's right to approach that. You know, we'll explore many options, whatever we're doing. We'll take a logo, for example. And if someone comes to us and they've got no idea, we won't come away from that initial meeting without having narrowed something down with them, because otherwise, if there's no expectations set, it just makes for a more frustrating process for everyone involved, and a longer process. So if, you know, we will have initial ideas in those meetings that Alicia will scribble them down. For me, they're in the head, and we will kind of focus in on those if someone's got no idea, just so that we've got some direction and expectations set.
Quite often or not, it's like a conversation you're having with them, and just because I've said something or taken a different approach on their business or looked at something a different way, then that jogs them and then it gets flowing.
Absolutely.
So it's just all about the questions and the conversation.
Which I can relate to with my media work is, of course, I have to do a lot of interviewing, and the amount of times that you get someone that just doesn't want to speak there, whether it's nerves or focused on something else, but it's about asking the questions that transport them to a place that makes them remember things, feel things, think things. And it doesn't mean that they need to come up with everything, but you've just taken them there, they're going to open up. And I guess you have to kind of do those media-esque interviews just to get to the nucleus.
Absolutely. And the environment is a big thing as well. Like inviting people into the office. We're obviously very proud of the office, and it's set up to have all of these collaborative conversations. But that does benefit the process as well, to take someone out of their normal day-to-day environment and come and sit in Lancaster or Gemini, relax, new environment. They can focus more into what it is that we're saying and open up a bit more. Whereas
distracted by the
if we go to their premises and someone's knocking on the door, or they get an email or a phone call, that's part of the reason we love inviting people in, is because that is a benefit to the process, to have someone kind of come into a relaxed, creative space, because it does aid those conversations as well. As corny as that sounds, people see the bean bags and they turn up and they're like, God, have I got to get in a bean bag to have this discussion?
If you want to,
and sit there and woo
and it's like the hardest bit is getting out of the bean bag. But it is about kind of extracting that from people. And like you say, equally, some people do have an idea of what they want, and sometimes that's completely in line with where we would have taken things, and it's a really great kind of thing to work on when the vision is that aligned so early on. But equally, we've been in positions where someone's got an idea and we explore it, and if something's not quite right, that's when we say, look, we've tried this is why we don't think it works. What about this?
Well, we mentioned in episode 1, and we've already brought it up earlier in this one, is being prepared to have those difficult conversations.
It is.
They've got to happen. Which is an interesting one, is that equally you could be going that we don't think it is, but it can often be a signpost to the final answer, because actually you do that and I go, no, I understand what you're saying, that but I'm thinking this, and you go, right, okay, I get
it gives more context.
And it's not a dogmatic, difficult conversation.
And it is a process that you go through, and it's not like you start with a blank white canvas and you get straight to the end solution. There are, Alicia has something called a bin board. So we work in Adobe Illustrator, and when we're creating a logo, or Alicia more, the amount of variations that we will go through that never even make it to the client, but we have to kind of get that out of our system to see what does and doesn't work. And Alicia's, all the concepts that don't make it, they get thrown up to the top of the screen and on something called a bin board. And often we'll go back into the bin board. And I'm like, oh, I like that.
And that's the development, the fun part of it, really.
It's the creative process, isn't it? It's just, you can't you can't guarantee how it's going to go every time, and how, because it's so subjective, isn't it? Anything design, and it's just so, you know, a lot of it is opinion based.
And I think there's a good one for me to almost put as a message to anybody watching, is to understand that you don't have to come in with all the answers.
Yeah.
You guys can take, even worst case scenario, very little, and bring it to life. And that's something that I can I'm testifying to as well myself as a client on several 2 different companies with you guys. So I completely get that. Right, 2023 standout moment. Carly, start with you.
Oh my gosh.
Or standout project.
I think there's a couple. A big moment, which I'm sure has been touched on, is moving into the office for everyone. That was such a great thing for us. And I have been thinking about this actually, because I knew we'd get asked. And something that stood out for me is we worked with Shakespeare Hospice on their new website, and they're a great team. It was a great process to go through. But one of the standout moments was actually going up to the hospice to one of their kind of evenings. We were invited, and to meet the team and experience the buzz that they had around having a new website was just so touching. And they're such a great team as well. And that, for me, actually us coming out of our environment into theirs, just really put things into perspective and just gave the relationship and the project a whole kind of deeper meaning for me, because I worked heavily on that. And that's something that stays with me. Yeah,
because otherwise you're sort of tucked away, too far away from it, and you're like going, right, here we go, here's another one, and all of that. Whereas to get that feels from the other side, getting down with the kid, got the feels.
Yeah, got the feels. Yeah, it was, and just, you know, to meet the team, and just to kind of, and they were really excited to have us there, and like I said, about the project, and it was just a really nice environment to be in, and like I said, giving full perspective. So yeah, that's definitely a standout one for me.
Alicia.
Oh, challenge.
Same to you.
Challenge. I mean, I love every single piece of work that I'm involved with. Work, you know, to pick one moment or one project. For me, it's all the little things that we do for local. For me, the giving back, the making the difference, the seeing the difference. Is just it's extremely.
It never gets old. Seeing something that you've done just out in the open.
Yeah, and I think one comes to mind. I think Swindon Beer Festival.
Definitely.
Just.
Notice everyone else was shying away about talking about a beer festival.
Not that I already drank at all, but it was the fact that we were working with them from the beginning, from making the brochure to all the other little bits of tasks and things that we were helping them with, but then actually going to the event and seeing our brochures and our things up and about, and people engaging with it and how they were using it and giving me ideas on how we can develop it moving forward, because of how people were interacting with the brochure and what they were doing with it, sort of can develop it year on year really. But just having that sort of working with them on a screen, then actually going to the event in person, again, it's that different perspective on it, I think. And just all the projects where you just know how much of a difference that it's made for them.
And seeing, like you say, seeing people engage with it as well, and it out in the open. Like we turned up to the beer festival.
It's the proud parents.
It
almost,
is,
isn't it?
and you see like all the coasters, all the glasses, all the brochures that people have got, and it's like. I remember the billboard on that logo.
I'll sketch to that. It started off in my notebook as a doodle in the corner. And then.
But it was a really fun creative project to work on as well. Like the brand, the visuals that you produce. I remember seeing that come together, and it was a really exciting one as well. And that always, again, gives a bit more depth to it. But sat in at the festival, like surrounded by all the visions that have been produced. That's a really nice thing for the whole team to enjoy as well.
And it's important that we always have those pride, those moments of pride in our job, because that's what makes it worthwhile. I mean, even daftly, I was at, going off subject for a second, but to show that the empathy, the understanding, I was at Swindon Wildcats. I love the ice hockey, and I was at a game, 2 games actually last weekend, but on the Sunday, and my wife and daughter were there with me, and the next thing, over comes the sin bin jingle with the voiceover done by yours truly, and both of them just went,
"That's you."
That's so
and
nice.
it's just like really cool.
Yeah.
And then getting abuse from some of the people around me in the grandstands and everything. But
It's like,
you kind of go, yeah, wow, that's really cool. And then it's like every time it came on, someone was being thrown in the sin bin. You kind of go,
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, you can't beat it though. Like that's
You've got to
ultimately
be
why
proud.
you do what you do.
Yeah.
Is to put it out there into the world. And when it is, we don't always get to see it.
No.
And when you do, it just get that little tingle, don't you? Like, oh,
Very
look, we
much
did
so.
that.
Yeah.
So
And
much
that never
so, I
gets
nearly
old.
drove out of a lane because I saw one of my banners that I had done on the roadside.
And you're like, what?
And I got so excited, I was like yelling to my mum to like get a photo of it, just because it was something that I'd been working on the screen, and then just seeing it in real life,
Yeah.
like it's
That's
crazy.
so cool.
yeah.
It is. It's important. Well, I mean, before that, we're going to move on to one final thing that is just looking forward to 24. But what I love is that even where you picked out things like the colours that project certain emotions within it, I love all of that creativity.
Yeah, there's a
I
whole
mean,
psychology
I blindly
behind it, like-
believed you, to be fair. I mean, you might have just hoodwinked me completely, but I went with it. I felt
the
it.
orange in there.
Yeah,
that was the main
exactly.
thing. That was the main one.
Yours truly got in there.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know that until episode 1, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
2024, Alicia, what you're looking forward to?
Oh God, there's just so much in already. I think
Yeah,
there's
we've got
been
to January,
yeah.
Mm.
There's a few big projects and sort of newer things for me. I think my catalogue project, I think in the new year, is going to be quite an intensive one. 150-page catalogue.
Wow.
It's a beefy project to get into.
Yeah, and I actually can't wait to get stuck into it. Really, it's one of those ones I can stick my headphones in and just power through it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to actually get cracking on that one.
With your hot water bottle.
Yeah, I didn't bring it with me. I could have.
Yeah.
It's actually on my chair. Just keep it in my chair warm. But yeah, also I think in the new year, Festival of Tomorrow is coming back round again.
Yeah.
And I'm already working on the assets for that. Lots more banners, brochures, flyers, floor stickers, all sorts. And again, just seeing that, I will have to get to it this year or next year.
Yeah.
I haven't made it to the actual finale event yet.
Yeah,
But it's just so amazing just seeing all the stuff they get up to, and sort of being a part of that, and the sort of the brand coming together.
Very much so. Very much so.
It's an exciting one to work on. But yeah, and again, I think also our pro bono projects in the new year,
Which I think is a
which
common
opposite, I think.
answer from all.
Yeah.
You all love that one.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask, how long have you been here?
It was 5 years in November.
Really?
Gone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
so
just amazing how the time flies. You sort of still think of some people as being fairly new, and you go, no, they're not.
I still feel fairly new.
You're one of the originals now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Charlotte, 24.
For me, I think we've got a lot of workshops coming up, so branding workshops, and just spending more time with clients, really getting to the depths of who they are, why they do what they do, so that we can communicate that.
Because that's quite new, isn't it?
We've done it for a while. I think they've had they've grown and improved, certainly over this last year, and we've kind of added elements to it. And it's something that's been received really well. And when we're in those workshops, just within the team as well, it feels the right thing that we're doing, like that kind of added layer that we can kind of achieve through it. And we've got more coming up next year, and just how all of the team can get involved with them, and kind of how it impacts everything that everyone does. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to working more on.
Like it. I like it. Well, I don't know whether Jamie's coming on or
I
not.
don't know. Ian had his haircut, he said.
Well, me neither.
I don't know if he's coming on or not.
He'll get away with it being a fairly brisk one, in fairness, because I'm conscious of the time. So we'll get him on.
I
Just
don't know
get Christmas wishes.
Yeah,
If he's not, it's fine. It's up to him. We'll get him at some point. Everybody's going to get collared at some point. Is Jamie coming on or not? Oh, is it? In which case, I think what we'll do is we'll get him on the next one.
Yeah,
then.
it could be first on the next one.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So just take the chance to wish everybody a
Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great New Year as well. Don't party too hard. And we'll
do party.
Do party. I don't
go
know.
for
I'm
it.
doing the hangover.
Yeah,
that part.
they last longer now, don't they?
They do. As you get older, But and you have a great Christmas and New Year as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you both for coming on. Don't go anywhere for a second, because what we'll do is that we will wrap it up. I'll bring it back to me momentarily. Thank you for joining us. You've heard everyone from jail wish you a Merry Christmas. From me, Chris Dawes at Visual PR, of course, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. We'll be back in the new year. I don't think we've got a date for the next show, so watch this space. We'll get it all scheduled a good week or two in advance, and you'll be able to watch these shows back again. And we look forward to seeing you on the other side. And it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to play the intro that'll take you into that Christmas feeling. Cheers all.